It's not by accident that some truck drivers are just better than others. Truck drivers that work every day to actively hone their skills are going to be just naturally better truckers. So what habits have these drivers developed to be more successful at their driving jobs? This video is sponsored by Lanefinder. The first habit successful drivers have is that they care about their equipment. Specifically, they care about it mechanically. They ensure that it's mechanically in the best shape it can be. They can get underneath their trucks every day, check their brakes to make sure they aren't going to fail. That'll help them avoid accidents. It'll help them prevent fines at scales, and it may help them avoid liability in case they do have an accident. And something else they particularly care about is that their trucks are clean, specifically the engine bay, because that helps them spot oil leaks and coolant leaks and keep the truck mechanically sound and avoid getting tickets at the scales for leaks. The second habit successful truck drivers have developed is they don't allow themselves to be pushed. Now, unfortunately, in today's trucking culture, it is not unusual. In fact, it seems to be standard that there are all sorts of people trying to push and shove the truck driver in different directions. There are dispatchers, there's sales staff, there's customers, there's upper management, and they're all trying to control drivers and push them into doing things they want, like running over their hours of service, drive when they're tired, go out and force them out in bad weather when they shouldn't be on the highway, and it's all over time schedules and things like that. Successful drivers develop the habit of not allowing themselves to be pushed into bad situations that can jeopardize the safety of their truck and themselves. Habit number 3, successful drivers are cautious drivers. And they develop this habit whether the road conditions are good or bad or dry or snowy. They're just more defensive drivers, and that helps keep them out of trouble. Because even on dry, sunny days, four-wheelers can do something unexpected right in front of them and jeopardize the truck driver in the load. So they drive defensively, they're cautious on the roads, they're not speeding, they're always paying attention to what they're doing. Lanefinder is the ultimate job platform to help truck drivers find the jobs that they want. The platform has specific filters so the drivers can narrow it down and help their search to find the carriers they need. You can research the size of the carrier or where they run and all sorts of other important information without ever having to talk to a recruiter. I highly recommend to drivers to use Lanefinder to help them find the best driving jobs out there. Check them out at lanefinder.com. The fourth habit successful drivers develop is the ability to eliminate as much stress as possible from their day. It's important if you drive for a living to be relaxed and laid back and not be sweating the small things. So they keep their hours of service up. They keep their equipment nice and clean and mechanically functional. They don't let the stress of the dispatcher get to them over the phone. They don't let the stresses of four-wheelers cutting in and out of traffic upset them. They don't allow the weather to stress them out. If the weather gets bad, they just get off the road. But stress is a big factor in trucking. And drivers that successfully eliminate the stress from their day and learn to be more laid back and relax and enjoy the job just make better truck drivers. Finally, and probably the most important habit to develop, and the one that's hardest to develop, is that truck drivers need to develop a business head. They need to develop a sense of business. Now, you may not think that for a company driver, that's particularly important. But company drivers, if they're going to be successful, need to realize that they can't be costing the company money. Now, it might not affect their paycheck particularly, but companies keep track of how often drivers screw up. And if it gets to the point that those screw-ups are costing the trucking company money, that driver is going to be easily dispensable. And you don't want to find yourself in that position. So even company drivers need to develop a business head. Now, owner-operators as well have to have a business head. Not only do they need to keep track of their business as a business to make sure they're profitable, they also need to be able to see the carrier side of that and make sure that they are making the carrier profitable as well. Because an owner-operator can make good money, but if he's costing the carrier money, the carrier's not going to want to keep him around. So you've got to keep in mind as an owner-operator that you've got to produce results, make money for the carrier, or you're going to be no good to them. These are 5 easy habits for drivers to remember and work on every day. Now, it's a proven fact that drivers that develop these 5 habits make more money than their counterparts. They have cleaner driver abstracts than most other drivers, and then that makes it easier for them to get a job elsewhere, work wherever they want. And it's also a proven fact that these drivers with these habits are the least likely to be involved in accidents. And that's of high value in the trucking industry. Stay safe. Work on these 5 habits of successful truck drivers every day. Keep the rubber side down. I'll see you on the backhaul.